Ooh, what's going on? What's going on? Man, right now I'm trying to get this house situated to go into the market tomorrow. And also looking at this foreclosure that's been short sale. This house that's a hoarder house. So it looks crazy. But see if we can get at the right price. But anyway, looks as if Devin Haney is having to go through some situations due to the fact that I guess like half his team is not being allowed into Australia. Um, his UK what's his name, Dave, whatever the hell his name is. He's not able to get in there because of he's dealing with Canahan. He's connected to him. So obviously anybody that's connected to that guy, they're not being let into a lot of places, especially not into Australia. Australia has a big, huge problem with the trafficking of narcotics into their country right now, and they also have a huge issue with gangs, biker gangs, um, and other types of gangs over there as well, doing their thing. So, if you were ever affiliated, involved in anything of that nature, doesn't matter how far back it is, you're gonna have problems getting into that country. Um, so I guess Bill Haney and some of his, some of the team, which I guess are his family members, have did things in their past and served time for it. So because of that, it seems as if that's the reason why right now they're not being let into the country. I guess he had stayed back, but the others had went there, but they weren't allowed. They got stopped at the border. Something like that. I mean, I could be wrong when it comes to that. I'm not sure if they didn't go or they went and they got stopped. But I mean, honestly, it shouldn't be a surprise. Like somebody like Mike Tyson, I believe, had went to Australia. He got stopped. He got sent back, and then he had to go through a process in order to be let, to come back and to be let into the country for whatever it is that he had to do. So he definitely could still, make certain petitions and eventually be let into the country, whether it be 2 weeks from now, 3 weeks from now, 4 weeks from now. It's still going to be a process to get him in there. Now, a lot of people are saying that, hey, when this whole deal was being set, people knew about his past and whatever it is. So, it shouldn't have been a shocker. Okay, yeah, they might have known about your past, but it doesn't mean that they have the power or the ability to be able to keep, to get you into the country. The original deal that was done with the Australian government actually involved Lomachenko. That was the first thing. That involved Lomachenko, you know. But even that's to the side, when you have a past like that, this shouldn't be a shocker to you. You got to understand and know that, hey, I might not be able to get into certain countries. My fighter might be in the situation where he has to fight without me if we want to do a particular fight. Tyson Fury, his father, can't come into the United States. So when he fights in the United States, his father can't be in this corner. His father can't hold him down in any way. And he understands and they have things set up to deal with that. So if you have had that past and you still have those things on your record and those things do flag up, come up, you should know from a long time ago, you should have understood that, hey, there are going to be situations where I'm not going to be there. And you got to prepare for that. You got to have people in your team that are available and able to take care of what needs to be taken care of. In those particular type of situation, which could happen. What if you have to go to the UK and they're saying the UK decides now we're not going to allow you to do this? If you have to go to New Zealand or whatever it is, where there's a big fight, let's say you have to go to New Zealand and you have to fight like a zoo or Costa Zoo, junior, whatever it is, the third or something like that. And they did a purse bid and they win the purse bid. Now you got to go to New Zealand and you have these things. So guess what's going to happen? He's going to have to go there without you and fight. Unless he's going to drop the belts. Unless he's going to drop the belts. So regardless of what they also quote have known, you should have also known when you were signing that contract that, hey, because of the past that some of us have, we don't know. There could be a chance that we're not allowed into this country. You should have known that before you decided to sign the contract. You can't always put things on other people. You know your past. You know the things that you've done. And if obviously, people do things 30, 40 years ago, it's like, he's talking about doing something in 1990 freaking two. Obviously, this guy's done great with his life. You know what I mean? But even though that might be the case, we still understand that, hey, certain countries, they don't care about all that. You know, it's still going to be a process before they allow you to get into their country. They're really dealing with enough of their own ish. You know, they're already dealing with it. They're already dealing with their own ish. You know, so because they're already dealing with their own ish, it's going to be it's a crapshoot. You know, you got to understand that, hey, this is a crapshoot. And you can't just assume that because these people are willing to do a deal with you, that because of that, hey, you know, they must be able to handle this situation for us. No, they might be able to just get your son to fights. They might be able to do that. Doesn't mean they're going to be able to handle that other legal part. They don't have no control over that. They don't have the power over that. Even if the quote Australian government is part of doing this particular deal, you know, even if they are doing that particular deal, you know, but you must be prepared for this. This is something that reality is it was eventually going to happen. And if it's something that you didn't want to necessarily have to deal with, then you shouldn't have signed that contract. You should have made sure all that was situated, all that was set before you signed that contract. Not just, quote, making the assumption that it's going to be okay. We can't always just throw things on other people. You know, you had the ability to talk about, you know, dotting your I's and crossing your T's. That's part of dotting your I's and crossing your T's. You should have made sure that you're going to be able to be let into that country, your whole entire team, before signing that contract, by getting confirmations from the Australian government saying, yes, we will allow you into this country. If it was that big of a deal, if that was that important to you, if that was the case, then you should have done that. You know, and some people are saying, well, Devin Haney should just, you know, he should just not fight. He should just not get on that plane. Man, you can try that, but you're going to be on breach of contract. And you're going to get sued. And you're in a top-ranked deal now. Since you're under top rank, not only are you probably going to lose money when you get sued, number two, you're going to get shelled for the next probably 2 years. That means you're going to get no fights, no traction, no nothing for the next 2 years. I mean, you in bed with that dude now. So you play him, you do him dirty, he's gonna man. Your whole boxing life for the next 24 plus months is gonna be bad. You know, he will shut you all the way down. You know, but at the end of the day, we have to hold ourselves accountable. You know, these are things that you should have made sure were situated. You know, you should have made sure this wasn't going to be an issue. That's your part of it. You know, you got to look out for yourself and your team. So you got to make sure, cross your I's and dot your T's and make sure that you will have no issue going into that. Then after that, you could have been like, all right, cool, it's all cool. All right, now we sign. But you decided not to do that. You decided just to sign. You had a certain deal, multi-fight deal, you know, where you're going to get paid millions of dollars still. You're going to get this fight, you're willing to put yourself into a situation where things were going to be against you. Those are decisions that you made. But everything that's happening right now should not be a shocker. It shouldn't be a shocker. And you got to hold yourself accountable for the fact that if it was really that major, that important, you should have made sure all that was situated before signing the contract. If it was that serious then. You know, and you had the ability to do that. And if it wasn't situated and they couldn't guarantee that, and you were like, nah, this ain't gonna work, then you could have walked away. You know, but you decided to sign that deal. You know, so because you decided to sign that deal, now this has come up, you got to deal with it. You know, and that kid is, he's been raised a certain way. He's been built a certain way. He has, Zab Judah's dad's going out with him. So he has somebody that can, Zab Judah's dad's going with him. So he has somebody that he has a really good coach, and somebody who has worked with him in the past before as well. It's not like he's just out there with nobody. He has a really, really good coach, and he has a talent and the ability to be able to overcome this and become victorious. He's built for this. He's been built for this since birth. This is the moment. So all that work, all that foundation building is for this moment. It's for this moment. Floyd Mayweather got put into a situation where he couldn't, fight with his dad because his dad was locked up. So he had to, get Roger Mayweather. He had to get somebody else into that position. That's what it was. You got to make that adjustment. But hopefully, everything is squared off, and at least I don't know if they're gonna be able to let all those team members in just due to all the things that a lot of them were involved in the past. But hopefully they'll at least allow his dad, like the worst case scenario, allow his dad to get into the country, whether it be 2 weeks, 3 weeks down the line. Oh damn, he fights in a couple of weeks. Yeah. Oof. I'm thinking like this fight is like 2 months away or something like that. I don't think so. I think it's this. But man, he's built for this. This is the moment. So you got to overcome it, and that's all it is. You got to overcome it. Like, subscribe, share. I'm out.